Jury rules Roundup was a substantial factor in causing man's cancer. 70-year-old who sprayed 6,000 gallons of weed killer to combat poison oak on his 56-acre property triumphs against Monsanto. This is a huge, I'll say micro victory because it's still got a little ways to go yet. But the fact that this is actually being talked about now, you always heard Roundup is bad for you. And now that's actually starting to get looked at here. Roundup herbicide was a significant factor that caused a man's cancer, a San Francisco jury ruled today. The verdict is the second blow against manufacturer Monsanto, now Bayer, less than a year after the first trial that came to the same conclusion in August 2018. Edwin Hardman, 70, of Santa Rosa, California, has non-Hodgkin's lymphoma, a cancer of the immune system, after using the weed killer to kill poison oak and invasive plants on his 56-acre property over the course of 30 years. Hardman told juries the spray routinely got on his skin, holy cow, before he was diagnosed with the disease in 2015. Insane. You know, he's been doing it for 30 years, spraying this weed killer. Some of it gets on your skin. Jury will decide whether the manufacturer knew of the risk the product posed to users, and if so, whether those risks were deliberately concealed. Hardman has undergone 6 rounds of chemotherapy. Good luck with that, man. He sprayed around 6,000 gallons of Roundup in his 26 years to fight his family's large poison oak problem, which was entering their water supply and hiking trails. He was the first to file a federal complaint against Monsanto, bringing a lawsuit against the company in 2016, a year after being diagnosed with cancer. Because you hear about these stories, a lot of people getting cancer. Where does it come from? I think we're being hit from all angles. Now, obviously, the Roundup is one of them. Chemtrails, obviously microwave energy, 5G, cell towers, all that stuff. You get hit from so many different angles, and it's just such a bombardment on the body. And I think some people do evolve, if you will, a tendency to fight some of this stuff, but it's being attacked so much. It's obviously, like, when you look at the spike, not to mention also vaccines. Don't forget that. All the crap they put in those things. But he wasn't the first to reach trial. D. Dwayne Lee Johnson, a terminally ill man also battling non-Hodgkin's lymphoma, took the pharmaceutical giant to court last year. Former groundsman Johnson, who was given weeks to live, was awarded nearly $290 million in damages before an appeal saw his sum sliced to $78.5 million, pending another appeal. So you can get money like that, but what good does it do if you're dead? I mean, he can obviously pay his bills off, you know, give it to his kids if he has any, or do whatever with it, enjoy life for his last, and what can you really do? You're probably laid up in a bed at that point. But it's terrible. Jury also found Monsanto acted with malice, oppression, or fraud and should be punished for its conduct. And of course, Bayer said in a statement, "We are disappointed with the jury's initial decision, but continue to believe firmly that the science confirms glyphosate-based herbicides do not cause cancer. We are confident in the evidence in phase 2 will show that Monsanto's conduct has been appropriate and the company should not be liable for Hardman's cancer." And of course, there's a graph down here for those watching. Basically 2 sides of the story here, but the bottom line I want to show here is this little paragraph here. It says full access to studies not possible. And that's because pesticide industries claim confidentiality, trade secrets, and intellectual property rights. So they don't want to show any other stuff, so they can't do testing on this and see if that's why it caused the cancer. But they're sure that it didn't cause the cancer. Do you see what I'm getting at? It's like, it's kind of ridiculous.
It can happen.
And of course, there's a graph here. Glyphosate used worldwide. You can see the numbers just skyrocket. And that's the thing. These plants get, they'll start to get, what's the word? Immune. That's not the right word, but you know what I mean. And it doesn't start to affect them. And then they got to make something stronger and all that stuff. That's kind of why Monsanto made these seeds. That's not kind of why. That is why they made these seeds that aren't affected by this spray. So, and obviously they make it so they don't reproduce crops after that. You get a one harvest, and you got to buy from them again. It's all about control. Very, very crazy stuff. So with that, I'm going to take a break. Come back, we're going to break some more stuff down here. Got some chemtrail stuff, NASA shapeshift plane, some NewsGuard, and if time, Arizona police banging down your door. Stay tuned. Talk is cheap.
You're listening to Talk is Cheap with Dan Hohlfeld on the K2D4 network.
Have a comment, question, or topic suggestion? Call our voicemail at 1-256-510-5234. That's 1-256-510-K2D4.